Guys, this is my walk around part 2 of my newly modified Sertao. The last few days I've completed my fork install. I've got on some 2003 YZ450F forks, 46mm Kayabas, which with the help of a few inmates on advrider.com and some custom machining by Sertao Engineering, I've been able to, without too much difficulty, convert the front end of this bike. I've had a few short rides on the bike and the handling is much improved. I've hit some quite large ruts at relatively high speeds. The new shocks soak up the ruts far better than the original dampener rods. They look great as well. The install wasn't too difficult, apart from a few little minor hiccups. I had it done within 2 days of work. The forks were revalved, resprung, tuned, reconditioned by Choice Suspension in Kyneton by Gilesy. You can see Gilesy's Choice Suspension sticker on there, which I've just put on. He did a great job on the, I think he ran 0.54 springs with 5 weight oil. He said that I should ride it for a couple of weeks, get back to him, see if I need to make a few adjustments on the suspension settings. He sort of set it in the middle roughly. The forks have standard, it's 300mm travel, but he shortened the travel slightly, and there are fork stops in there also. So under full compression, I won't have any chassis contact. I've changed the front fender, as you can see. That's not the standard BMW beak, that's an Acerbis Super Motard fender. So that'll allow full compression of that front fork if I start getting a bit extreme on the bike. I had to raise the back of the bike as well. You can see down here in the blue, there's a Sertao raising link. So I did that job first. That was pretty straightforward. I've got new rubber on my bike as well. You can look at the tyre there and see I've got Midas E09 Dakar fitted on the rear. I've gone for an E10 Dakar on the front. These tyres are pretty much brand new, so I'm just running them in. I'll give some more reports on the tyres in the next few weeks. The first set of tyres I had on this bike were Midas E07s, which were awesome, but I wanted something a bit more dirt orientated. Another Sertao product you can see on the bike is the case saver sprocket cover in the anodized blue as well. A few other parts I had to install were the ABS sensor holder, which you can see down here on the front, just on the front axle. It replaces the original spacer that usually goes in that spot. It's much better to have this sensor there. Had no worries routing the cable to that up through the fork protector. I extended my front brake line. I got the custom brake line from a company in Brisbane called Hell Performance, and that's run nicely down. Had enough space to do that. Initially I was going to try and route around the front and through these channels on the fork, but didn't quite make it, so I've gone for exactly what Craig did, and it fits perfectly and looks quite good in the blue. What else did I have to do to the bike? Had no issues fitting the front fender. This fender fits perfectly. I just used the 4 screws from the original BMW fender, and it goes straight into the Yamaha forks. No worries at all. Well, at a bit of a loss for where to put the hooter or the horn, I've just sat it on top of the front fender for now. It kind of looks a bit strange, but I quite like it, so it may stay there. Coming around to the triple clamps, Craig provided a ignition bracket which mounted onto the Yamaha front triple clamp, top triple clamp, sorry. The most difficult job was drilling out the BMW anti-tamper screws on the original ignition bracket on the BMW top clamp. Once I drilled that out, it was a very easy install onto Craig's part. No worries at all. The bike has full steering lock. Forks work awesome. No risk of bottoming. I do recommend, however, if you're going to do this mod, that you raise the back end to keep the geometry similar. You can see that the bike's a bit taller. I've had to go back to the standard seat. I was running a tall seat, but I'd say the bike's gained at least another inch to 1.5 inches of height. And I really just, to get my feet down, I've had to put the standard seat on instead of the tall seat. I think the bike's probably running around 900mm at the moment, I'd say. 900mm, so quite a tall bike. The side stand, I'm not sure whether or not I need to extend the bottom part of that side stand. It is leaning on a pretty steep angle. I know the original geometry of the bike does sit over quite a lot on that side stand, but I'm just thinking that I might need to fix that side stand up a bit to keep the bike a little bit more upright. What else? What else did I have trouble with? Not really anything. I had to get a new axle kit. So Craig provided the spacers to allow me to fit that BMW wheel and the ABS system. So it was all seamless. There was no problem at all. Everything's in great tolerances. I've got about a millimetre gap between the ABS sensor and the ABS sensor ring on the wheel. And the bike's just... it's a new bike, essentially a new bike. I'm just loving it. So just a bit of bike porn for you guys. I'll just walk around the bike and you can have another look at it. Put a few stickers on there. I've got some Acerbis body armour. I'm using a Krieger backpack, tail pack. I've got a uni filter in there. You can see some of the other mods I've done to the bike. I've got a Barrett muffler, which you can see around this side, which sounds sweet and saves me about 7 kilos. Tool tubes on the back there, can put spare fuel, tools, tyre levers, whatever into those. These Barrett pannier racks are fantastic for soft bags as well, or hard bags, whatever you choose. I've changed the battery over, put on some crash protection, pivot pegs, engine protection, sump guard there, Renthal high bar, bark busters, shorty anodized levers, modified the screen. I've got a Touratech screen bracket on there with a Puig screen spoiler, and that gives me completely clean air. If I'm riding off road, I'll sometimes take that screen off to give me some fresh air on the face and chest if it's a warm day. Very happy with the bike. I will be getting some footage of this bike in action. I'm just ordering a GoPro, so hopefully I'll get some good material for you guys. Thanks again to everyone who has posted on the ADV Rider threads, on the Sertao thread, on the Dakar thread, and also on the fork conversion thread. Thanks again to Craig from Sertao Engineering for being so helpful and patient. I did ring him many times over the last few days to sort out a few little issues. Yeah, but the bike's done. I've learned a lot about mechanicking on motorcycles. Overall, extremely happy. So I would recommend this conversion to anybody if they want to improve that front end of the Sertao, both cosmetically and functionally. Those forks are fantastic. So enjoy, guys, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.